this world I'll overcome. My God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. He's roaring like a lion. Let hope arise and make the darkness hide. My faith is dead, I need a resurrection somehow. No, I'm lost in your freedom. And this world I'll overcome. My God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. He's roaring like a lion. He's roaring. Let heaven roar and fire fall. Come shake the ground with the sound of revival. Let heaven roar and fire fall. Come shake the ground with the sound of revival. Let heaven roar and fire fall. Come shake the ground with the sound of revival. My God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. He's roaring like a lion. He's roaring like a lion.
Good morning, everyone. Very glad to see so many people here on a holiday, right? So, no. I used to play professional football, but then I took this job, and so, oh man, the music this morning. These young people are going to be with us on a regular basis this year, and you're going to be so happy about that in about 5 minutes. Danny Dumaine, our pianist, has been here several times with us, and Danny, we just decided, graduated from Webster in 1985, so he was among the first students that I had at Webster. Now we're both old men. How did this happen? Speak for myself, right? But Danny was a brilliant musician then, and now is sort of the guy for gospel music in St. Louis, but he can play everything, as you will hear. And through Danny, I met this amazing singer behind me, 𝐿𝐇𝐀𝐓. He said, you got to hear this woman, and wow, he wasn't wrong. So please welcome back Danny Dumaine and 𝐿𝐇𝐀𝐓.
My help is coming from you. Your peace you give me in time of the storm. You are the source of my strength. You are the strength of my life. I lift my hands in total praise to you. You are the source of my strength. You are the strength of my life. I lift my hands in total praise to you. Amen. 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 Amen.
Thank you both. That was absolutely magnificent. We're so happy to have you back with us, and we're looking forward to more beautiful music during the service. So, hello everybody. Good morning. Whether you're in the sanctuary or whether you're out in the world, we welcome you. Happy, let's see if I can get it right, Mardi Gras, Super Bowl, Ash Wednesday, Valentine's Day. Did I miss anything? Golly, we got a busy week coming up. So if we haven't met, my name is Reverend Jan Mourning, and it is my absolute honor to serve as minister here at First Unity Church of St. Louis. I do want to extend a special welcome. I want to welcome everyone, but especially anyone who might be a first-time guest today. We absolutely are an unapologetically inclusive spiritual community. Everyone is welcome here. And if you would like to fill out the little guest information card, it will be on the pew in front of you. It's yellow. We would be happy to send you a complimentary year subscription to our Daily Word magazine. There's some other choices you can mark if you want to get texts or if you want to get emails. That's completely up to you. So also, if you're watching online, those streamers, welcome to all of you. We would be honored to offer the same deal to you. Just fill out the Contact Us section on our webpage, which is unitystl.org. Also, if you are in need of prayer today, we have a highly trained prayer chaplain, Mary Tuminello, who will be on duty today to pray with you about anything on your heart. And if you're online and need prayer, there's a special place on our website, a link, Need Prayer. And if you fill that out, give us a little bit idea of your prayer request, we will hold you in prayer for 30 days. So we're all about prayer around here. So first of all, before I do the announcements, I want to thank those who attended the Unity 101 service session last week after service. And special thanks goes to Diana Robertson. Where are you, Diana? I know she's here. Out in the bookstore working. Okay. When you see her, thank her. She volunteered her time last week to do childcare. In order to do childcare, you really have to have a background check, and she has one from her other volunteer work, so we really appreciate that. Okay, I'm just going to highlight a few announcements, and that should be on the screen here. The hospitality ministry will meet today right after service, which we don't normally do. We usually give a half hour to go downstairs and socialize, but this is going to be a very brief, like 15-minute meeting, just to talk about some things that need to be talked about before the board meets soon. So that will be right after service in the adult classroom. This is the ministry that plans all our fun and fundraising activities. So if you've got some ideas, come and sit in, and we'd love to have you. Also, hopefully everyone received our email last week, a note that we're having a special meeting after church next week on the 17th to talk and update everybody about our finances. 18th? What did I say? 18th, sorry, 18th. 17th is a Friday, or Saturday. We're not having it then, okay? This coming up week is book club, and book club meets at 2 p.m. Is Carol Bullock here? I don't think she is, but Mary, would you feel that? No? Okay, if you have any questions, just if people have any questions about it. So after that, the next week, women's and men's nights are on February 19th. I think I have that date right. See Mary about that, or Roy. They'll help you with that, and there'll be full details on the screen next week. The amazing Route 66 Jazz Orchestra will hold its concert here on the 23rd of February. It's only $15 at the door. It is a great show. It really is. They are so good. Our wonderful Jeremiah Bircher is part of them, so give Jeremiah a hand while we're mentioning his name for all he does. And actually, a proceeds of the net proceeds, a percentage does go to us. So we're very thankful to have a partnership with the jazz band. And finally, the Board of Trustees is sponsoring a spring potluck brunch on the 3rd of March. We encourage people to bring salads, casseroles, hors d'oeuvres, dishes, desserts, anything you want. We are encouraging you to bring a recipe, not the recipe, the food, the food from a recipe from the First Unity Cookbook. But it's not absolutely necessary. If you have a favorite recipe and you want to bring it, I'm sure we would love to have it. There are sign-up sheets on the table, and if you're bringing a recipe from the cookbook, would you just indicate the page? I'll put a cookbook out there so you can look that up. Okay? Also, we're making this Friendship Sunday. We would have done it today, but it's, too much going on. So we're going to do Friendship Sunday on the 3rd of March. If you can, bring a friend, a relative, a neighbor, somebody who you think might like and be enriched by our service, and they can have lunch with us afterwards. Okay, also, today, the complimentary Lenten booklets are out on the table. It's 40 days, Let Go and Let God. They're perfect for what we're talking about in our series. So please take one on the way out. They're complimentary. And our message today is, what do you expect? So now I'd like to invite everybody to stand, if you're willing and able, for our first community song, Witness by Daniel Nahmad, led by Julie Godey and accompanied by Steve Schenkel. Thank you both.
This day is a witness to my sacred purpose, to all that I meant to be. This day is a witness to my sacred purpose, to all that I meant to be. Letting it in, letting it flow, letting it go where it will go, letting the power of your presence show the way. Letting it in, letting you know, I'm letting you lead, that I might follow, being a witness to your presence every day. This soul is a witness to my holy purpose, to all that I'm born to be. This soul is a witness to my holy purpose, to all that I'm born to be. Letting it in, letting it flow, letting it go where it will go, letting the power of your presence show the way. Letting it in, letting you know, I'm letting you lead, that I might follow, being a witness to your presence every day. My life is a witness to my rightful purpose, to all that I've come to be. My life is a witness to my rightful purpose, to all that I've come to be. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love for all my life. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love for all my life.
Good morning. Okay, guys, if you haven't got the hint, you know, that's why I wore it. It's in a couple of days. Okay, today I am Mary to Manalo, and I will be over by the windows to pray with you for any joys or any other concerns you have on your heart. Today's word is strength. Centered in divine strength, I am confident and peaceful. Would you say this with me? Centered in divine strength, I am confident and peaceful. And I just wanted to remind everyone that when you do pray with us, everything is kept confidential. If I find myself struggling to bear the weight of a heavy load, if I'm wondering how much further I can travel or how much longer I can carry on, I rely on my spiritual strength to keep me going. When I align my thoughts with this divine gift and not on the weight I carry or the distance I travel, I am tapping into the power of God, expressing as me. Through divine strength, I am renewed and refreshed. I have everything I need to stay the course, knowing the presence of God comes to me through many channels. I may ask for help and accept it graciously when it comes. I give myself breaks and make time for prayer and my other spiritual practices. Through it all, I remain strong and grateful for God within me. And from Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10, finally, be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his power. Let us pray. Let us take a deep breath. And as we let it out, let go of the outer world and just go within and feel yourself with the powers flowing through you. As we travel through this human world, we often meet sorrows and worry and fear. Just remember, we are never alone. We always have the divine powers within us to help us walk any path. Just taking one power of strength that will give us energy and fortitude will help us walk through any human situation we have, and through that human tunnel to the divine light. And so it is. Amen.
Beautiful, Danny. Thank you so much. So today we continue our series on the book, The Lazarus Blueprint, Ancient Secrets for Healing and Inner Peace. Mary Alice and Richard Jafala are the authors, and in this powerful little book, which is available in our bookstore if you don't have one, the authors share an extraordinary 6-step blueprint from the raising of Lazarus story for overcoming life challenges. Anybody have those? We all do. It's part of the human condition. If you are just now joining us today for this series, I invite you to think of a problem with which you have been struggling and be willing to use the Lazarus Blueprint to turn the seemingly impossible into the possible. Unity is all about practical spirituality. We try to use principles of truth to truly enrich our lives. So considering the Bible a valuable resource, we look beyond the details of the stories and we see each character, word, event, and place representing an aspect of our own spiritual growth. It makes the Bible really personal. So for a quick review, I'll just review the first 2 steps we've talked about. Step number 1 is based on the beginning of the Lazarus story told in John 11, when Jesus gets word from his dear friends that Lazarus, who he's very close to, is really at the point of death. But instead of leaving immediately to go do something about this, Jesus stays where he is for 2 full days. That's really weird, isn't it? It's just unbelievable. So in our human skins, step number 1 can seem counterintuitive. If you've been with us, you know what it is. Say it with me. Step number 1 is turn away. Turn away. Now, this doesn't mean to ignore the problem. It simply means we just take a little time out where we don't dwell on it. We just turn it over it and surrender it. So, step number 2 is roll away the stone. That huge stone in front of the grave symbolizes something in your own consciousness that needs to be rolled away in order to live the life that we were absolutely designed to live, desires and the life that we deserve to live. That's the important piece. So the stone is never about an outward person. Well darn, right? It's always about something within us, an inner state of mind. Someone said to me one time, I rolled away my stone, but it came back. Well, I know, I love that. Well, this may not be a once and done process, okay? I guarantee that. Or maybe, as I found out in my work here, with myself, maybe we hadn't found the meaning, the real meaning of the stone in the first place. So I started this process believing that my stone was procrastination. You know, I hit a period in my life where it just seemed like challenges were coming faster than I could even deal with them. So I'll just mention a few because if I go into all of them, you'll miss the Super Bowl, okay? So I'm just going to give you a few. So first of all, I am the POA, a power of attorney of a dear friend who's in skilled care hospice. And of all things, she was beginning to do better, and she tested positive for COVID. So she was isolated in her room. She forgot how to use her phone, so I couldn't get to her. It was just a really stressful time, and I was bombarded with calls from all the nurses, both at the facility and at the hospice about making decisions for her. So second thing that happened is one of my sweet little cats has to have dental surgery. By the way, so do I. So I'm thinking maybe we could do it together and get a discount. That's my plan. We'll see what happens. My dishwasher and garbage disposal died a few days apart, and my septic tank needs repair. That's probably too much information. So the other thing is that cold, bitter winter hit. You know, we all survived that, and I had to deal with a really icy driveway. So I'm sure you get the picture. It seemed like I couldn't catch a break. So one bitterly cold Saturday afternoon, I knew I had to get out for church the next morning. I decided just to turn away from all of it and to try to accomplish one thing that I really did know how to do. So I went out to my garage, put on my very warmest coat, went out to the garage and got the little device and inflated all 4 of my tires. I know how to do that, and I know I did it, okay? So that made me feel good. I'm like, oh my gosh, I did that. I accomplished that. It was kind of affirming. And just as I finished, I heard a loud noise in my driveway, and I thought, what is that? I looked out, and a neighbor was out there in full winter garb clearing my entire drive and walkway. This is a person I don't think I've said 2 words to. I hardly even know him. And when I ran outside to thank him, he said, well, I watched you last Sunday maneuvering yourself down that icy drive, and I'll do the walk too. I want you to be safe. I can't tell you how that lifted my heart. It just did. It just lifted my spirits. And I had 2 issues resolved, right? 2 things off my to-do list. Well, the point is, eventually I realized, after praying and meditating and really reflecting, my stone was not about procrastination at all. That was not it. My stone is about the residual grief of missing my late husband and the way we work together to face all life challenges. I really miss that. So that awareness just helps me keep those inevitable ups and downs of life in perspective. Knowing, believing and knowing that I am not alone, has already been sung about and said a couple times today, and we all can meet life issues with resilience and strength. With God, all things are possible. What beautiful knowledge that is. So we pick up the Lazarus story where we left it last week. When Jesus finally arrives in Bethany, Jesus has been in the burial cave 4 days. He asked to be taken to the gravesite and sees the opening covered with that gigantic stone, which is the way burials are done in Jerusalem, in the area. So he demands, what does he say? Say it with me. Roll away the stone. Now the Jephalos capture the scene. By now they write the crowd gathered at the tomb of Lazarus is in an uproar. The scorching air is abuzz with barbs and confusion. It's as if they are saying, what's wrong with this man, Jesus? We all know this is an impossible situation. He has taken leave of his senses. And the Jephalos say, bingo, that's right, is exactly what Jesus is doing and what he is telling us to do, to take leave of our senses, to realize that our senses do not show us the whole truth. So this is where Jesus unveils the next step of the blueprint. To the sisters and the crowd, he says, did I not tell you, if you would believe, you would see the glory of God? So they took away the stone. Clearly, Jesus is saying here, don't judge this situation by your physical eyesight. Look beyond it. Become aware of the unlimited intelligence of the universe that is always working on your behalf. Step 3 is great expectations. Believe and expect the best. Believe and see the glory of God. Believe and behold that greater reality. Now, the authors remind us, this is interesting, your scientists will like this, that the human eye can only see from a mere 1% of the vast electromagnetic spectrum, which means that we actually cannot see 99% of what is really around us. Likewise, the human ear only hears a limited range of vibrations compared to a cat who can hear sounds from a range 40% greater. Trust me, it's very difficult to sneak up on a cat. I know this, especially if you're trying to get them to the vet. It's just almost impossible. So the point is, and I'm not going to leave out the canine companions, the point is, dogs can detect scents that are 1,000 times fainter than what we can detect. The big point is our senses are inadequate monitors of even our physical world. Now, historically, eyewitness testimony is among the most convincing forms of evidence in criminal trials. We read about it all the time. But convincing does not necessarily mean accurate. Modern DNA analysis shows that many witness accounts have led to innocent people being convicted. Now, often these are just unconsciously distorted, faulty memory, but not always. That's not the only reason. Because we see the world through a lens of personal judgment, it's easier to see a person as dishonest if we already believe that he or she looks like a thief. Think about that. Excuse me. So therefore, the authors say, don't rely on the unreliable. Don't rely on the unreliable. In your own life, can you see how physical senses might be doggedly trying to convince you that you have a major problem? I mean, maybe you've seen it on an x-ray. Perhaps you've heard a frightening diagnosis. Maybe you even felt it in your body. Or like our co-founder Myrtle Fillmore, you have been conditioned to believe that you will inherit a particular illness. Whatever is threatening you, the Jafalas say, is loaded with sensory input, all negative and not necessarily reliable. You know, there's that old saying that seeing is believing, right? A lot of us believe that. But truly, it's the other way around. Believing is seeing. Because our senses continually bombard us with so much information, we cannot possibly take it all in. Too much. So we filter the data through our own thoughts and assumptions about the world, taking in what supports our beliefs and really ignoring or maybe discounting the rest. Many of you know this story. I believe last time you heard it was from Ann's mentor, Reverend Becky. But it's a great story about this. It's a story about a guy named Phil who had two neighbors. This is not the story she told. I'm sorry, she told the next story. I'm telling this story, okay? It's a story about Phil who had two neighbors move in at the same time, one on the right and one on the left. And so one day, as Phil is sitting on his front porch relaxing, the one neighbor from the left comes over and introduces himself, and the new neighbor says, "What are the people in this neighborhood like?" I'm asking because my old neighborhood has such wonderful, compassionate people, always going out of their way to help one another, like my neighbor. And Phil said to him, "Neighbor, I've got good news. That's exactly what you're going to find here." The next day, very next day, the other neighbor came over. And he asked the same question, but his was followed by, "The reason I'm asking is the people in my old neighborhood were selfish, uncooperative, unfriendly, really a bunch of losers. So I just want to know what the neighbors are like here." Phil looked him right in the eye, looked at his scowling, hateful face, and said, "Neighbor, I've got bad news for you. That's exactly the kind of people you're going to find here." Yeah, and he did. He did, by the way the story ends. So Unity Minister Reverend Eric Butterworth famously said, "We see things not as they are, but as we are." Modern science has actually proved this to be true. I won't go through it all, but from all the data out there, we tend to focus on that with which we already agree, and we ignore the rest. Surely the man who had drawn conclusions that all his neighbors were losers would be acting in a guarded, distant manner. He might see the neighbor across the street rush out to his car in the morning without saying hello, and he would say to himself, "What an unfriendly, stuck-up jerk." The other neighbor, who sees people as kind and compassionate, sees exactly the same thing, but processes it differently because he has a different lens about people. He says to himself, "Oh my gosh, Fred must be late to work. I'll pray he gets there safely." Same incident, two different reactions. It happens all the time. So our thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and judgment, in unity, what we call our consciousness, actually determine that sensory data we take in to our minds and what we ignore. That means it's important to use our beliefs wisely because our beliefs become our reality. We attract ourselves to what we believe in. Certainly our senses, now not to badmouth them, they can play a crucial role in warning us of physical danger. That's where they come in well. However, when it comes to complex life issues where universal spiritual principles apply, we have to look beyond them. They don't tell us everything. I love this Walt Whitman quote. He said, we are not all included between our hats and our boots. There's more to us, right? The point is, even if our bodies have a temporary physical challenge, and that can happen in this lifetime, we are more than our bodies. We have spiritual, mental, and emotional powers. We can look beyond those senses to that greater reality of godness and goodness. It's just a fact. So this is what Jesus shows us when he ignores the grumbling crowd and commands the huge stone to be rolled away. His words are clear. He said, "Didn't I tell you, if you believe, you will see the glory of God?" We tend to experience what we expect. The Jafalas say this simple truth is a timeless principle. Expectations gather a tremendous force of power and energy that really draws us to the people, circumstances, and events that we have in our minds, in our beliefs. And Jesus also told us, remember, according to your faith, it will be done to you. And expectations have a lot to do with faith. Sometimes I've heard people say, I lost my faith. Have you ever heard that? People say that? The Jafalos argue, no, you didn't. We always have faith. It's a spiritual power. It's a matter of where you place your faith. We can put our faith in a diagnosis or in our innate wholeness, in hate or in love, in the best of humankind or in the worst, in getting even or finding common ground, in lack or in prosperity. The authors ask, what do you expect? Something positive or something negative? And remember, we've said this before, where our focus goes, energy flows. Quantum physics tells us that in any given moment, there may be an infinite number of possibilities of what can unfold. And like energies attract like. And so we attract ourselves to what we expect. Otherwise, let me back up a minute. That means we've got to create strong, positive expectations. It's really important. Otherwise, it would be just too difficult, and we would default to the thoughts and attitudes of the world, like the crowd in the story. Remember their reactions? Like the crowd in the story, we would allow ourselves to be sort of sucked into the gloom and doom of the daily news and all the negative buzz around us. That's easy to do right now in this world. Paul wrote to the Hebrews, faith is the assurance of things hoped for the conviction of things not seen. So the conviction means the absolute knowing, that absolute inner knowing that we know all that we desire is already ours in the absolute realm of spirit. This is Jesus' message to those at Lazarus' tomb. This is Jesus' message to us today. So the Jafalos follow with kind of a troublesome follow-up question, and it is faith enough? Is faith enough? Does anyone remember faith's companion power from our study of the 12 powers? Anybody? Thank you, Hope. I started to say, I'm doing a great job up here. I know it's hard. There are 12 of them, and they're in pairs. It is imagination. Our companion power to faith is imagination. Faith gives us the conviction to expect our good, and imagination allows us to visualize and feel the emotions about when that is going to manifest. Now this is the story that Reverend Becky told. It's in the book, The Secrets of the Lost Mode of Prayer by Greg Braden, and the subtitle of that is, I love the subtitle, The Hidden Power of Beauty, Blessings, Wisdom, and Hurt. Even from our bad times, we can take away good. So Greg Braden shares a story, a lot of you know it, about an indigenous friend named Dave who invited him to go to a sacred place to pray about a severe drought that was in the area. So Dave followed his friends through the hundreds of acres, trekking through the New Mexico high desert, and they came to a spot where was this ancient circle on the ground of rocks. And Greg watched as his friends removed his shoes, stepped into the circle, walked around the inside border, and gave thanks to all the ancestors who had laid those rocks. And next, he returned to the center, held his hands up in a prayer-like position in front of his chest, closed his eyes for a few seconds, only a few seconds. Then he turned to Greg and said, okay, I'm done and I'm hungry, let's go. Well, Greg was shocked. He said, what do you mean? I thought we came here to pray for rain. And Dave said, oh no, I didn't come here to pray for rain. I came here to pray rain. When you pray for something to happen, you are acknowledging that it is not there in this moment. That's the faith part, the knowing within that the truth is there. Here's the imagination part. Dave continued. I'm going to read this word for word because I don't want to mess it up. When I closed my eyes, I saw myself standing barefoot in my Pueblo village, mud squishing through my bare toes. I smelled the rainwater rolling off the earthen walls of my home. and I felt the pure joy of walking through a cornfield chest high as a result of all the rain that had fallen. It's a beautiful model for prayer. Notice, it's believing, visualizing, and gratefully receiving the outcome. So the Jephalas note that it takes work to move your faith in the right direction. I think a lot of us have found that. Although faith, just like God himself or herself, itself, is limitless, our thoughts and feelings can create barriers. God doesn't create them, we do. Faith in finding someone to share your life can be brought down by a mindset of, nobody would be interested in me, right? See, we're blocking the good. Faith in unlimited prosperity can be limited by thinking and feeling, oh, I'll never be able to afford that. And faith in our innate wholeness is limited with thoughts and feelings like, I know I'm bound to inherit my father's illness. So the authors asked, concerning whatever life challenge it is that you are working with at the moment, what have you been expecting? It's really an important question. Take an honest look at the direction of your expectations, because where your faith is pointing, there is where you are likely headed. Reverend Michael Beckwith advises, and I love this, develop a sense of awe at the infinite possibilities of goodness that lie ahead of you. Stand before the magnificence, order, and unconditional love of the universe, expecting the amazing power of God and goodness in every situation, even those you did not consciously choose. So we know that God is love, and we are here to be that love and expression, to witness to that love. Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore tells us, love is an inner quality that sees good everywhere and in everyone. It insists that all is good, and by refusing to see anything but good, it causes good to appear uppermost in all things. So, Jesus' message to the incredulous crowd standing at that tomb was a plea for their understanding that true faith means expecting the good even before you see it with your physical eyes, even before it's visible. The Jephalas say, well, there you have it. Believe, expect the best, and you will witness the creative process of the universe at work in your life without your controlling the how. The how is up to the divine, and we will be guided to the how when we're in the right consciousness. Believe and get out of the way, they say, so this mysterious power can go freely about healing, meaning correcting, whatever in your life needs to be corrected. So I invite you with me to set the intention this week to expect the best about our personal challenge. Once we turn away from angst and fear, once we are able to remove and roll away that stone, we align our faith in what is spiritually true. God is absolute good everywhere present, unity principle number 1. And we are one in that goodness. We have all the powers of the Christ within, love, faith, strength, imagination, wisdom, and all the rest. They can help us, God can help us conquer any challenge. Believing this, we can live in divine expectation of the best outcome, knowing all will unfold in God's perfect order and grace. So let's come together now to just affirm the great truth about the divine being said in unity churches all over the world, all over, just global. Ready together? There is only one presence and one power in the universe and at work in my life. God, the good, omnipotent, and so it is.
In the silence, there is a sacred place, a secret meeting place. Love is there. In the silence, where every color blends, and every rainbow ends. Good is there. In the light now you find that you know peace of mind. In the silence where every grape is gold and all your dreams unfold, love is there. Peace is there. Truth is there. God is there.
And now I invite you, if you haven't already done so, just to close your eyes and take a deep restorative breath. Hold it for just a few seconds and then slowly, gently exhale. Relax your body, still your mind, and just be in the presence of the divine. Take another deep breath, moving more deeply into that inner sanctuary of your own soul, where love is there, peace is there, God is there. And as you release your breath this time, just release anything that is keeping you from being fully present to this now moment. And as you continue breathing normally, breathing in and breathing out, know that every breath is a gift, and just set the intention to be. In this sacred, quiet time, know that the perfect energy we call God surrounds you, enfolds you, and expresses as you. God's divine will is forever unfolding good. You are, all of us are, one with the Most High. You are worthy, you are loved, all the powers of the Christ are your divine inheritance. So in this consciousness, slowly, gently, bring into your mind's eye for a moment the problem you've been working with using the Lazarus blueprint. And let's remember what Jesus says about it. Did I not tell you? Believe, and you will see the glory of God. Hear this message now in your own subconscious mind. Know that God is absolute good and absolute unconditional love everywhere present. Know that you are one in that love on this earth to witness to God's love, peace, and goodness. Know that your beliefs and expectations do, in part, create your reality. So ask yourself honestly concerning your current situation, what am I expecting? Do I expect truth, goodness, godness, and grace? Or do I expect something less? Jesus told us, ask and you shall receive. In the early Greek, the word ask meant claim. Claim that which you desire. Use your powers of faith, imagination, love, and strength to align in that perfect power of spirit and to expect more joy and freedom unfolding every moment of your life. So now I ask you to prepare your soul to go into just a few moments of silence. And in this sacred time, allow that still small voice of your sacred inner wisdom to guide you toward the resolution of your challenge, coaching you gently to surrender, to trust, and to expect the best. Treasure your inner wisdom and what it tells you now for a few moments in the silence. And so now, as we come back together as a greater spiritual community, together we joyfully celebrate this moment. We see that we do have the faith to turn our pivotal souls from temporary outer conditions to the inner world full of love and the goodness of God. We name this and we claim this through the power of the Christ. And we say, thank you, God. And so it is. Amen.
Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me sing. I am tired, I am weak, I am one through the storm, through the night. Lead me on to the light. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on. Go ahead and let me sing. I am tired, I am weak, I am one through the storm, through the night. Lead me on to the light. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. When my way grows dreary, precious Lord, linger near. When my life is almost gone, hear my cry, hear my groan, hold my hand, lest I fall. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. When my way grows drear, precious Lord, linger near. precious Lord, lead me home. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me
Wow. I'm truly not sure I can talk after that, but I'll try. So thank you, Danny Dumaine and Connie. You have such amazing talent, and we're so blessed by your presence. Thank you so much. So yeah, give them another hand. Okay. Okay, we're going to have a surprise in a minute, so I'm going to go through the ending of the service pretty quickly. So it's that time now that we get to just pause and give thanks for our many blessings. So I invite you to stand, if you're willing and able, to bless our church and our personal lives. Together, divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. And so now, while you're still standing, let's join together in the prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us. We are the light. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love. The power of God protects us. We are the power. The presence of God watches over us. The presence indwells us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. So I want everybody to have a wonderful week. We'll do the hospitality meeting quickly in the adult classroom, and then I'm going to come downstairs after that, so we can meet afterwards. We have a special surprise today before we sing our last song, which will be Love is My Decision. Chose that one for Valentine's Day. So we have some special guests. Come on down, kids. Come on. Everybody come down. Yay! We love our kids. Come on up here for just a minute. I think you want to say something to everybody, right? Okay, stand up on the steps so everybody can see you. Turn around and face everybody. There you go. Oops, boom. You okay, honey? Okay, it's all right. Didn't break. We're good. All righty. And before we do that, while we can, we have them all here. Let's give a hand to our three amazing teachers. Thank you all for all you do. My gosh, you all do such a good job every single week. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Cindy. Okay, ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Happy Valentine's Day! Okay. And as they're passing out the treats, we're going to sing Love is My Decision, right? This should be fun.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on the bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten the load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. My decision right here and now.
Yes, he died. Was a time that I swore I would never go back. I was blind to the truth, didn't know what I had. I was running, I was searching, but every place I turned for healing left me more broken than the last. Take me back to the place that feels like home, to the people I can depend on, to the faith that's in my bones. Take me back to a preacher and a verse where they've seen me at my worst, to the love I had at first. Oh, I wanna go to church. Trying to walk on my own, but I'm wound up lost. Now I'm making my way to the foot of the cross. It's not a trophy for the winners, it's a shelter for the sinners, and it's right where I belong. Take me back to the place that feels like home, to the people I can depend on, to the faith that's in my bones. Take me back to a preacher and a verse where they've seen me at my worst, to the love I had at first. Oh, I wanna go to church. I wanna go to church. Oh, more than an obligation, it's our foundation, the family of God. I know it's hard, but we need each other. We're sisters and brothers. Oh, take me back to the place that feels like home, to the people I can depend on, to the faith that's in my bones. Take me back to a preacher and a verse where they've seen